And we're on. Hello out there in digital nomad land. This is KeeKee Cornelious, digital coach and business coach and digital nomad. I'm mixed up today. That's okay. I'm on here with Jessica Yarbrough, and she's another business coach. I love Jessica, and a success mentor. Let me tell you, business coach and success mentor for women who want to have high-end coaching programs, okay? So Jessica and I are going to do what all the rest of our guests have done. She's going to sit back and tell us some things about her personal life. You know, we'll get as behind the scenes as she'll let us go into her mommy kingdom and her biz queendom and all of that. So Jessica, tell our guests more about you.
Awesome. Thanks, KeeKee. Well, I've been a digital nomad for quite some time before I had a child, and then I circled back to doing it after I had a child. Yeah, and my focus right now is really helping empower women to put together high-end coaching and or consulting businesses so that they can run it from anywhere in the world. They can make a six-figure income and really live life on their terms.
Yay! So I love Jessica because when I met Jessica, she was pregnant with her baby, and we were at a Ziggy Marley concert.
I think so, yeah.
It was a Ziggy. We met at a Ziggy Marley concert. That is, wow, that is amazing how lives and paths cross. But I've been watching her over the last couple of years. I've been watching you, Jessica, and I saw you transform from this. It's like you had the baby and you didn't stop. All of a sudden you were back in business. You were doing the mommypreneur. You're traveling, and oh my goodness, just to watch you, it's like, oh, I wish she was my mentor when I was raising kids and thinking about building a business, because people told me that I could, it just wasn't feasible. It just didn't seem practical for in certain circles, that just isn't feasible. My family thought you should be in one place until your kids graduate from, I don't know, college and get married, I suppose. That's I don't know when I was supposed to move. But I've watched Jessica do this, and it's been fantastic. So Jessica, tell us how it's been going from a single woman entrepreneur to now the mompreneur.
Oh, well, it's a huge transition. You know, obviously there's a lot more to juggle in terms of, you can't just, take off with your backpack and stay anywhere. So it requires planning and having nanny support or bringing in family or friends, some kind of childcare support so that I can get more work done. It's just an extra step, more luggage, more plane tickets, more money. You got to make more money. So it's been an interesting journey. And then, just really finding that balance between being able to separate, work, having the work time and having family time versus basically all my playtime is family time now. So, and that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. So it is an interesting dance. It is harder for sure. I always kind of laugh when people tell me how busy they are that don't have kids. And I think any parent can relate, whether you're a digital nomad or not.
Yes.
It's like, oh yeah, I remember when life was hard.
When I just had me to worry about. It's like,
what I'm going to wear tonight.
Right? I didn't go shopping. I don't have any shoes. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So tell me, how did you get, what got you started as a digital nomad? Like, how did that journey even begin?
That was actually years ago. I had left the corporate world and moved to Thailand. And I was burning through my savings really quickly. And this is years ago. I mean, we're talking years before everybody's doing it in Thailand, right? There wasn't a lot of digital nomads there at the time. That term hadn't really become popular. I don't even know if it was coined at the time. And I needed to make money. And so I did what I always do. I reached out and had a couple meetings, and I ended up getting some consulting work. And I worked out of my jungle in Thailand. My jungle home.
No way. So it really just developed out of a need and a desire to do so. So you had just left corporate?
I had left the corporate world.
Ooh.
And, you know, this is what I will tell people. What it proved to me was that even when you're in a third world country, because this business, it's not like I was working with American businesses. This business was based in Thailand, but owned by foreigners. So it's a high-end business. They had the money to pay me. So it's like, it's an illusion to think that you cannot make money anywhere in the world. And a lot of people, they go over to these countries and, you know, they try to make a living as locals do, like waitering, waitressing, working at a hostel. Yeah, you're not going to make any money doing that. But there are businesses. I mean, you look at someplace like Bangkok or Kuala Lumpur or Singapore that want your talents, they need people. There's a need for marketers. Like, how do we market to foreigners? Because that's who's coming. And they need your expertise because the local people don't know how to do it. Even though
Wait, did you guys hear that? She just gave you a key. I like to point that out, like, wait a minute. I think I just heard a real awesome tip in there. So, okay. What was that again, Jessica, about?
So the businesses, they need foreigners because they want to market to foreigners. So if you're looking at the hotel industry, one of my friends is she's an American head of marketing for Bangkok Hospital.
Wow.
Which is a really high-end, one of the top hospitals in Thailand. So all of these, they're marketing to foreigners. They want the foreigners to come over and spend money, to stay at the 5-star hotels, you know, to shop at their stores. And they need that Western perspective. They need to know how to talk to them, you know, how to attract them online, all of these things. So no matter what you do, just know that they're actually seeking foreigners for their input. And there's such a lack over there. I remember the conversation I had with my consulting client. It was like, wow, I just felt like I struck gold, is what he told me, because he found me. And most of the people they were talking to didn't have a clue what they were really talking about. So it is real and it is powerful, and you can absolutely go over there and pick up work. You can get work before you even go. Just know that the opportunities are really endless.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for shedding light on that.
You're welcome.
That was like, okay, I don't know yet if that's going to be your best, but that is a really good clue, because so many of us, me included, you know, you think that you can't go certain places because maybe you can't afford it, or you don't know how it's going to be, or you get to a place and then maybe you want to stay longer. Like you did, like I saw you were in, wait. I want to say Costa Rica, but I don't know if it was Costa Rica. Where did you just?
In June. I was in Mexico for 5 weeks, Playa del Carmen.
Oh, yes. And I remember you posted on Facebook about wanting to stay longer. So it's like, oh, you have the possibility to stay longer, or you want to stay longer. Okay, so how do I make this work and still make money no matter where I am? So it's not like a vacation. That's why one of the things I talk about is living on vacation. It's like, no matter where you are, we still have to work. Your business still goes, unless, I don't know, unless you don't like what you do and you really just want a vacation from work. But as entrepreneurs, that's not who we are. We'll work no matter where we are. It just comes to us. So tell me, what has been your biggest struggle as a business owner?
As a business owner? I think for me, the biggest thing is I know everything that needs to be done, and all, you know, I can see the end goal, but there's so many pieces that have to be put together. So, you know, I'm really in a stage of getting ready to launch 3 new programs, and you know how much work goes into that. So it's really just like, if I could duplicate me, and I'm good at outsourcing, you know, I know that is an aspect of business, and I do invest a lot of money on bringing people on board as part of my team, but there are certain things that is my content, my creation, that just have to come from me. And so it's just, oh man, I wish I could duplicate, have 2 or 3 of me, and then boom, and be done. Like that's my biggest struggle. The desire to do more.
I posted that on Facebook, and somebody else said that, like, I need someone else to do more. I need a clone, he said. And I told him, I said, that's okay. You can have a clone, but remember, the clone is never going to be as good as you are. At least that's true. So, okay, your biggest struggle is not being able to clone yourself. That's a good one. I could imagine the things I could get done. Imagine the things we could get done if we could clone ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And that whole patience with the journey thing unfolding, and, you know, just being witness to that process, being like, I know where I'm going, and these are all the things I have to do, but I've always wanted to just be there. You know?
It's like, I can see the end.
Yeah, then you don't appreciate the journey, and you've got to go through the motions. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize, is just how much work it is. But if you put your systems in place, you know, you're going to easily generate the money and scale your business.
Yay. Okay. So let's talk about business.
Yeah.
What would you give as your biggest advice, or your number one key to your success as a mom who travels with a baby and does business and still takes care of her family at the same time?
I think it's twofold. It's really your mindset and your strategy.
Ooh,
so, you know, you have absolutely got to be committed. You have to be fearless. You have to, you know, and I posted something on Facebook the other day, when you get knocked down, because you're going to get knocked down. And you posted something recently, you got to get back up.
Yeah.
You got to get back up. And a lot of people, they start and then they just stop because of fear, or something happens. And there's that self-sabotaging behavior. Successful people are bigger than their problems.
Oh, I like that.
You got to be bigger than your problems, right? Bigger than the things that life is going to throw at you.
Yes.
And the second one is your strategy. You're going to have the right strategy. You know, if you're just starting out and you want to, you know, manage someone's social media for $500 a month, that's not sustainable. You know, it's really not. The only way it's sustainable is if you hire a team and duplicate the process and basically have a consulting service and all of these things. So you need to think about what is going to be scalable. And I think that's something else people miss, because you're still working with your time, then you only have so much time. And then you got to have time to market, and then you got to have time to sell.
Yes.
So then you have to,
right. And then deliver.
Exactly. So people need to really focus on, what is the end game? What do you want? How many hours do you want to work? You know, how much money do you want to make? And reverse engineer your business from there, focusing on high level, high value, meaning you can charge a lot of money because it's worth a lot of money to that person, and create your business around that. And a lot of people, I think, get it wrong, and they try to start off just, you know, I'm going to do a little bit of blogging, or I'm going to, you know, they start on the task things that the business owners are not going to see as the highest level, highest importance.
The non-income producing task, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, they're nice to have, but they're not considered essential. For example, let's say you're like, I'm going to build websites. The business owner is not sitting there thinking up at night about this website, right? They're thinking, I want more leads. So you need to focus on getting leads. Now, if you can say, I can bring you 100 new leads a month, or qualified leads, you know, a month, that gets their attention. So you got to focus on what they really want. And again, delivering the high value, and let the task people do the task stuff, unless you want to build an agency. That's a whole other model. Right.
Okay. Strategy and commitment.
Mindset.
I don't even know how I could forget mindset, because
commitment's part of mindset, but mindset's really deep.
Really deep.
Well, it's so bad that I actually was encouraged and asked by my tribe to create this course that I'm launching around mindset and sales mastery, because I'm finding so many women, they actually took the time and they built their programs, whether it's high end or low end, you know, whatever they built, they've got a brand, they've got a website, but they haven't made any money. And so, and it all comes down to our own internal limiting beliefs.
Yes.
And our ability to sell. And so that's what the whole program's about.
I hear you. I had that realization here lately too. The first thing someone told me is that I heard at a conference that you don't have a money problem, you have a visibility problem. Okay. So that hit home. I thought, okay. But then being visible meant that I needed to be visible, like more visible. And then there was someone in sales that said, and then she said, you don't have money because does anyone even know what you offer? Have you asked anyone to join your programs or services? And I thought, wow, that is just like, I don't even know why. I'm one of the people that you probably a couple years ago, you've been like, KeeKee, stop, don't. My coach just told me, like, stop doing busy work. That's what, sometimes we could get, and some of my other people, not you, you sound like you wouldn't, but you get busy doing things that really don't matter. Like making sure that a sales page is like perfect, but no one this, no one really cares about the sales page. They care about you and what you bring to the table. So things like that, I get that. So let me think. You said something else I wanted to go back to. Oh, okay. So while I'm thinking about that, tell me about what goes into you planning your adventures or where you're going next. Like, how did you go about planning a 5-week stay with you and your baby in Mexico?
Well, I've been wanting to go for a while. And so a couple of places on my list that I'm going to be going to in the next, year was Mexico, Thailand, back to Hawaii. I should say back to Mexico because I went last year too. Thailand and Italy. So those are kind of like the 4 on my list. And I actually chose Mexico because I know this sounds crazy, it's in the same time zone. Oh. You know what I mean? And I was looking at these and I have to look at the quality of my daughter. It's not that I can't go into Thailand or I can't go to Europe, but I have to accept that I'm going to have off hours. Right. And at the time of my trip, I had a ton of private clients. Oh. And, I didn't want to be up at 11 p.m., 12 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., because that means I'm not getting sleep and I'm not spending time with my daughter during those day hours.
That makes so much sense.
So yeah, that's actually why I chose it this time. But the way I'm structuring my other programs and bringing in some supporting coaches, it is going to free up more of my time.
Okay, awesome. That is okay. So you brought up time zones. My husband and I had a conversation about time zones today, and it had to do with our appointment. So time zones mess me up. If I'm not in two places, 2 time zones, California or like Eastern. If I'm not on Pacific or Eastern, the Mountain Standard and the Central Standard, they totally throw me off. So when I was thinking, it wasn't until you sent me a message earlier today to say, we're still on, right? And I'm like, yes, we're on at 1. And then automatically I was like, okay, that's 2:00 my time. But before then, all up until then, I knew we were meeting at 12. I don't know why I always subtract when I'm like, oh my goodness. Like my husband says, why can't you get this right, honey? I don't know.
It's hard. It's really complicated when you have different countries too. And it's a problem. Even when I created a travel calendar for my time in Mexico, there was still miscommunication. So you have to look at that. You have to look at, are they going to have good Wi-Fi? For me, is it an enjoyable place for my daughter? Because I looked at Argentina, like Buenos Aires, and I was like, well, we can go to parks, but there's no beach, there's that sort of thing. So I was looking at things like how much is there really for her to do and wanting to save those city experiences for when she's a bit older. Nice. Those are some of the things I looked at.
Oh, that's so sweet. I like that. It gets me all mushy inside. I'm telling you, I would have been like, yay, teach me how to do that, traveling me a mommy and an entrepreneur at the same time. That's why I'm in awe of women like you who can do it. It absolutely amazes me. Okay, so tell us, I know that you have some you're doing some rebranding. You have some new programs and things going out. So let's talk about Jessica and how you can help our audience build and grow their businesses.
Awesome. Well, I'm launching out a couple different programs. One is going to be a DIY and one's a group version. And that's how to build, sell, and scale a high-end coaching or consulting business. So the DIY is self-paced. I'll show you exactly how to create your first 10K within 60 days. Yes. It's step by step. And then the group version of that is a 6-month program where now you've got your offer. I'm going to show you how to scale, how to use email marketing, create all your funnels, create your webinar, run the traffic, all of that stuff. So that the goal for that program is to take you to 100K.
Yay. Okay. Yay. And then I thought maybe did you tell me there were 3 of them?
Yeah. So the third one is launching in a few weeks, and that is my Mindset and Sales Mastery. And that's really for people who, either have an established business or they're kind of dipping their toe in the water to, one, master their mindset and then master the sales process. So like literally how to walk people through a discovery call, how to overcome objections, how to set your mindset right, and there's a bunch of bonuses like around wealth creation. And it's really just like a mind makeover. so that you can be successful, because there's far too many people out there who have great ideas, you know, have a good heart, really care about making a difference in the world, but deep down these limiting beliefs,
Yes.
one, and then their fears too, like getting on the phone, and three, their inability to close sales. Those three things are what we're going to hit upon in the training.
Okay, so can you give me one jewel out of that for someone who would be struggling with, what would you say is the most prevalent limiting belief that you see in practice?
Oh man, there's a bunch of them actually, but I would think that I'm not the expert is one of the, it's that self-worth. I don't deserve it. I'm not, I'm not the expert, that kind of thing that comes up for a lot of women, and especially. And I think what people don't realize is that you don't have to be the most knowledgeable person in the room, you know what I mean, in the world to like solve someone's problem. And, to really be perceived as an expert, you need to just know more than your customers. So you're not marketing to people who are billionaires, in your field. You're not marketing to them. You're marketing to people who are, 2 steps, 3 steps behind you in your journey. And you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself to, try to attain mastery, right? You teach what you know, and you help people solve their problem.
So. Yay! Based on what you know, nothing else. That's why people love you. That's why people come to you. It's because of what you know, not for what you can know, what you will know, but what you know and to do for them right now.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that, Jessica. So tell me, we're just about at the end, but I want to ask you, if you had, how do I want to, I just had it in my head and it went away. But the question is, what is your single piece of advice that you give someone getting ready, they haven't quite traveled yet? They haven't dipped in the I'm going to work from anywhere pool. They're thinking, maybe I can work from anywhere, but I'm not sure about this whole working and mix and play with it thing. What would you say to them?
I would say to step out of your comfort zone. I mean, that's the only place that growth is going to happen, and expect the ride to be bumpy. It's not always going to be easy, but you're going to learn a lot about yourself, about your capacity to handle things that otherwise you think you couldn't handle. You'll have a deeper appreciation of your own culture and the things that we often take for granted, like Wi-Fi that's always there, toilet paper, cleanliness, clean water, all of these other things. But at the same time, you're going to also see the beauty in the way that another culture lives and the simplicity. So I think it's the ultimate journey. I believe everyone should travel. And I would say get out there and just go for it. Not to worry about it. Just go do it. Just buy a ticket. Yeah.
Did you hear that? Just buy a ticket, people. Buy the ticket, book the ticket, go a while. You'll love it. We've done it. You'll love it. We can guarantee it. You'll love it. That's what I like too about traveling, Jessica, is that you get to look at the way other people live and how they grow and how they love, how they interact. And it really is, we really are spoiled in the United States.
Very much so.
Very much so. But it makes you appreciate being from the United States. And then it also gives you a deeper appreciation for someone else's culture.
Absolutely.
And their life. And so I love the way we travel too. Well, I want to thank you for joining me. And I know if everyone in Digital Nomad land could see, if they could tell you, they'd be like, yeah, Jessica, we love you. Thank you for inspiring all of us and making me and KeeKee Shiro. So tell everyone what website or where to go to find you.
Yeah, you can check me out on the web, jessicayarbrough.com, YARBROUGH, jessicayarbrough.com, where you can find out all the latest and greatest.
Yay! So that's Jessica for you people. And this is KeeKee Cornelious, Look, I can't say who I am. I don't know who I am today. Do you know who I am? KeeKee Cornelious, Digital Nomad and Business Coach, signing out. Oh,